What's up, Digidestins? This is Kyle D, better known as RideMyAvatar, and today let's talk about some Ultimate Cup fun shenanigans. So without further ado, let's get into the video and talk about it. So first off, let's go off to the races with hated decks that everybody hates, right? Well, I think with the inclusion of Ukamon and Louis, which JP started to show some success with a sort of rendition of this deck anyway, with a Rookie Rush coming back, is this kind of its own style. Since Ukamon both kind of just make it, and Louis are both related to when one of your Digimon moves from breeding area to battle area, you may hatch the Digi egg in breeding, but Ukamon gains you a memory for it. So does Louis. Louis will do the same thing. So what's really nice is that, you know, when one of your Digimon moves from the breeding area to battle area, by suspending this tamer, gain a memory. You can set yourself up really nicely, and he has an on play that moves one of your 3 or higher Digimon from breeding area to battle area. So this will set you up nicely with Ukamon's and Louis kind of being the center focus. What I found out by the list, you supposedly have access to the security rookies just because of JP's status, but it's kind of interesting to see right now. The rules for Ultimate Cup are been the same. It's kind of custom list and everything like that. The main focus is kind of just slowing down your opponent through natural means. We have Gusumon basically says can't play by effects, so we share that with who else do we don't actually share that with somebody else. I thought we did. We do have Psychmon, so you can't reduce play costs. You have Terriermon and Chewmon basically saying you can't gain memory except through tamer effects, so this is basically to shut off memory boost. And then you have Sayokomon basically says you can't reduce Digievolution costs, so it makes them mandatory having to pay it all. We're using the Vmon jamming Vmon shenanigans because we need the tempo and card draw. Kikaitis Breath and Badly Blow is just here for removal. It's nothing too crazy. We're just hoping more or less for security purposes, and that's kind of just what we're hoping for. Balukamon is basically in for the security effect as well, and he kind of adds himself to your hand. You know, Gomamon, just because he's unblockable, really helps out just to get that final attack in, and can set you up nicely. You know, with the fact that we have Ukamon and Louis, kind of just making it so that we have these freer turns that are spamming out these higher play costs. Yes, we don't have like 2-cost Digis in the format, but a lot of it gets supplementized with the Ukamon and Louis, and especially the more we have out for Ukus and Louis, by the time we are promoting up and just cycling through everything, it can lead to being a very strong, cohesive strategy. There's definitely some tweaking need to be evolved. This list is just a rough draft, but I think for annoyancy wise, I think we can possibly say Rookie Rush could definitely come back, especially since it does shut down a lot of the key components with these memory blockers, and it'll allow you to do crazy shenanigans with Ukas. Then we do have another hated deck, and that is Setcon. Setcon still exists, boys and girls. I would not sleep and expect this to be out of the woodworks here. We got Sala in the format. We have Hisurimon. Basically, this has seen some competitive play back when this was a security rookie access in JP. Now we can play it here a little bit better because it's on our list. So I think that's pretty solid to think about this. And with Magna Angemon plus Magna Angemon Ace, we can control board and add security to our hand. We'll use Izzy to kind of manipulate the stack a few times, which will definitely help out. Then you have Kari, especially since that is a normal purple staple in most purple lists, right? For Setcon. So Kari will come in and help out. And I think that is going to help us out because that if they hit our security, we gain a memory. You know, we don't have a lot of crazy recovery like the other decks do, but getting like a Holy Flame in there, or Trident Arm, or Ultimate Flare, or Badly Blow can help remove threats off the board, especially with threats like aces about, you know, they hit the wrong thing at the wrong time, and this could become a spiraling thing. You know, imagine them hitting Trident Arm when they have an ace in their stack. Boom, you Digivolve them 3. that ace is now bye-bye, and you just pass the turn back to you, and you can set yourself up and do some more crazy shenanigans, because what wouldn't you be afraid of doing against this? You know, you have like Ultimate Flare, same thing. You know, Omnimon Zord defeat, always scary of an opponent, especially because he'll come out and, you know, your opponent might not be able to deal with him right away. And Omnimon Zord is just really powerful. Yes, we have like Zudo Ace and stuff like that that can just remove it, but I think this is just really solid. And then, you know, top end, I figured, you know, it's never had this like end boss strat, but I feel like Goldramon might actually help this deck out, especially for your Magna Angemons. You can Digivolve onto him with Goldramon here and basically produce 2 tokens, and that could help out and just deal with threats, you know. And he also, you know, when this Digimon would Digivolve or leave the battle area, delete all your Amon Flames and Thunders. If this effect deletes, recovery 1. So this helps recover you as well as a way of building up board state. And he's not a weakling in number either. So I think this is really solid. And we are splashing in Omnimon X Antibody just for the fact of, if let's say the tokens are outed, a blocker token and a rush token kind of get both outed, that's fine. We can go, you know, Omnimon X Antibody and at least be able to stop one attack, or we can just keep swinging with Omnimon X Antibody, blowing things up. So there's a lot of potential with the list, and I have no objections here, especially since, you know, even just having the Omnimon Zord get hit in security when Digivolve into Omnimon X Antibody for a 3 cost. Boom, you're now deleting Digimon and making yourself more of a threat. So I feel like all in all, the deck has a lot of potential and synergy in its going. The reason why we're taking in Digimon Emperors here is because we do have like Agumon, we have Gabumon, we have all these Digimon that are starter main phase that you want to promote these Digimon, you know, level 3s up. I think Digimon Emperor will punish them or slow them down a bit, which is all we want to do. Is when one of your opponent's Digimon 5 or lower is deleted, you may suspend this Tamer, draw a card. Very easy with this deck. But also opponent's turn, when your opponent's level 3 or Digimon is moved from breeding area to battle area, gain 2 memory, kind of to neutralize the rookie rush strategy. Not a lot of lists I do think will be running stuff to shut this deck down. So we'll be pretty much in a good clear position. And I think we have a lot of going on for us. Now let's get into some stuff. I think Gamamon's definitely going to be one of those decks that will have a lot of potential. This Gamamon is on the list that I saw, and that's quite interesting to me. We have like the old idea is that basically you're going to make Paroxymon, and Paroxymon is just your big bad. You know, all turns, once per turn, when another Digimon is deleted, you may play a level 4 lower Digimon with Gamamon in its name from trash without paying its cost. That's what we like it here for. And then end of your turn, once per turn, by placing one Digimon with Gamamon in its text from your hand or trash as this Digimon's bottom Digi-Evolution card. Delete one of your opponent's Digimon with DP less than or equal to this Digimon's DP. We use Arcturusmon because being able to, when an opponent's Digimon is deleted, if this Digimon has Gamamon in its text, trash the top card of your opponent's security stack. More Arcturuses in the stack means the more free trashing we get. You know, the deck is just plain and simple. It builds stacks. Yes, it seems like it's really interesting to me that a lot of players might think this doesn't have a lot of potential, but it does. There's just, you know, the deck plays a little bit differently. It doesn't have all the access to all the good versions, but you get a good amount of access that you have here. Then we do have Imperial Dramon. Imperial Dramon definitely had some good stuff going for it. The demo deck really helped out, and I think you'll see a lot of demo deck playing. Wormmon definitely isn't legal just yet. You have to wait till December for his legalness. So if I remember correctly, you just substitute for the demos Wormmon for now, and that'll just hold you over till then. But I think all in all, the list has a lot of potential. We have like Dragon Mode Ace here. It's not the best, but it's playable. And then you have Imperial Dramon Fighter Mode as an option for your threats, you know, being able to gain a blocker and security +1. And then you have like Pile Dramon. If this Digimon has Imperial Dramon in name, unsuspend it, gets you multi-attacking going. you know, Pyeldramon for Jogressing, you know, if this DNA Digimon, 2 of your opponent's Digimon with no Digi-Evolution cards cannot attack until the end of the opponent's turn. Just really solid all in all. We have to use TK here just because there is no other big boys that we can work with. So it's just something to keep in mind. We do have Davis and Ken at least accessible. This new Davis is just in here just to help us make XVmon for free and stuff like that. But all in all, the deck's going to do what it wants to do. It kind of just OTKs as best as it can now with the resources it has. Then we have War Greymon. We noticed that BT12 War Greymon is on the list. So it's not a bad thing because it gives us access to raid. We use like Metal Greymon here for the extra security check, plus, you know, this Greymon, plus this to just punch through all the security. You don't have as much boost as you used to, so you have to play really cautiously. And I mean really cautiously. You do not want to swing in and just lose out on your tempo and everything like that. You know, we have to use Metal Greymon Ace because the other option is a worse card. And, you know, that's the problem, is when your other option is a worse card, it's either 3000 DP inheritable plus, you know, security +2 minus 5 memory as a Metal Greymon. I won't play that. I think that's too risky. If you're stuck on a bad Greymon turn, you're really in a bad spot. And I'd rather be able to Digivolve on any of my Greymons just to be able to do this. You know, security plus the blocker effect. There's a lot of potential. Just know that unlike the other deck, you're now really struggling with, you know, you don't raid as much, you don't do as crazy shenanigans. But, you know, we do have security War Greymon with its raid, and then you may attack. And then if you have a Tamer, this is Digimon gain security +1 and piercing. So that's where we kind of get our closing out the game, where we can get that attack in and just clear out a bunch of security because the piercing is in the top end. But we also do have Raid War Greymon that'll have Reboot, be able to swing in. And then we do have War Greymon Ace because most people don't expect it. But it'll be kind of cool just for our opponent to see that and go like, oh, I was not expecting that completely. So it's just really useful here. The Agumon deck hasn't really made crazy changes here, but we have to play some bad cards just to be able to make this deck work. Then we do have Jelly Force. Well, just kidding. I would just call this Jelly Strip. So this deck here is not even funny. This deck has a lot of potential. I think just being able to maximize on Zudo Aces, being able to strip cards, and you want to focus on stripping cards anyway because Amphimon is, when attacking or when Digivolving, trash up to two cards, blue cards in your hand. For each one, trash any one of your opponent's Digi-Evolutions under one of their Digimon or Tamer. Then you may return one of your opponent's Digimon with no Digi-Evolutions to the bottom of the deck. So it helps board control. Amphimon has some decent here. But all turns when one of your blue Digimon in play would be deleted by returning 3 Jellymon in its text from your trash to the bottom of the deck in any order. Prevent its deletion. Sad it has to be jellies, so we have to play a little bit. So you just have to keep in mind and be cautious and wary about you don't have as many protections with a true jelly deck with this deck. So you have a lot of potential. I think blue isn't something you just sleep on. Then we do have D-Brigade. D-Brigade definitely is going to be playing slightly different than what its true power is when you have full access. I think having Dorumon here is just so that we can get our free 4 play costs. We have plenty of targets here in the low end. Yes, normally we want a bunch of D-Brigades and stuff like that, but we don't have much. But I think Vaidmon might actually be quite useful here just for a backup level 5. So when Digivolving, your opponent reveals the top 3 cards of their deck, de-Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon. For each Digimon card among them, return the reveal cards to the top or bottom of the deck. Being able to manipulate the opponent's deck and slow them down in any way, shape, or form is actually quite good, especially going into formats. So I think this is pretty solid. I think just being able to play Commandramon how it plays is really good. I like having Trident Arm in here just because of the 6 cost removal and Ulti Flare as the 8. Then we do have DCD Bomb, just being able to help removal as well. You know, just really solid all around. And then if they hit Omnimon's Award Defeat, it comes out. But I think also having Diaboromon Ace is just a really nasty card because it just scales up the longer he's on there, because it's when Digivolving and when attacking, you play a token and you just keep building a wide board that way. And then when an effect plays another Digimon, you may delete one of your opponent's play cost 3 or less, or lower Digimon. For each of your Diaboromon, add up to 2 for the maximum of this effect. It just gets wider and gets nastier. So I don't mind. Free token generation is always never bad, and it's just pure black, so it works with your defensive trainings. And then we do have Mumsay. Mumsay, I'm going to be straight up, I don't fully know how the deck operates and functions, but I think splashing in Hoover Hespy is really solid just because of the draw or gain a memory. So he comes in for 4 or draw depending on what your opponent's playing. It just gives you knowledge, and knowledge is power. And then while there's a Tamer, this is a blocker and can't be deleted by your opponent's effects, kind of makes him a little more stickier blocker, which we like. You know, using Sasuke plus Nume just makes the jamming and, you know, reboot shenanigans, just free rush jamming, all that good stuff, really solid. You know, you have like Black King Nume, revealing the top 3 cards of your deck from among them. Add 1 Mumsay in its name to your hand and play 1 Digimon with Nume in its name without paying its cost. Return the rest to the bottom of the deck. Black King will just play the new Numemon we're hoping for to go with the Sasuke combo, and then boom, your opponent's just really having to face this down. You know, Mumsay is really interesting here because it's counted as an armor, so on play by placing 1 Digimon with Nume in its name from your trash as this Digimon's bottom position. Gain 2 memory, so he comes in at a 5. And then you have Mumsay here for the extra security check. And on play, when Digivolving, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 3000 DP and security -1 until the end of turn. And then on play, by placing 1 Digimon with Nume in its name from trash as this Digimon's bottom solution, gain 2 memory. Kind of the same thing with this Mumsay. They both gain security +1 if they are in Mumsay or Nume. So you have like Platinum Numemon. So on play, when Digivolving, trash 1 card with Nume in its name from your hand, gain 2 memory. So lowers the play cost, but on deletion, you may play 1 level 5 or lower Digimon card with Nume or Mumsay in his name from your hand without paying its cost. So, all in all, really solid. Then you have Shin Mumsay, basically place all level 3 Digimon face down on the top of their own security stacks in any order. Then all your opponents level 4 or higher get minus 3000 DP and gain security -1 until the end of turn. And then when attacking by trashing 1 card with Nume in its name, Digimon Digievolution card, place 1 of your opponent's Digimon face down as a bottom security stack. So just Shin Mumsay is just a good control and kind of punishes Rookie Rush style of play, which we possibly could see. Black doesn't have much on a good cohesive strategy of what you want to use in certain matchups. So to be straightforward, I think Ukamon just helps speed up the deck a little bit. So having it out, even just in generalization, will just help the deck speed up tempo and everything like that. So I think the Digitama, well, level 3 rookies will really help out. You know, you have a Kakuamon with blocker, you know, Dorumon that's hopefully going to play, you know, your Numes for free or one of your rookies. So that's not terrible. And then you have like Ukamon here that's just going to be there. There's just not enough good cards to allow yourself to do that. But you have like Numes that are just going to help out and just be able to bridge gaps anyway. So all in all, deck's got potential. Then we have, you know, Fang Lugamon. Basically, the deck is the same. It hasn't really changed much. It had to compensate for some pieces. I think splashing in Impmon here, just being able to, you know, add this card to your hand, but being able to play a purple level 3 or card from your trash without paying its cost from a security effect can set up, especially if your opponent was just making one last attack in. You know, you have like Gabu coming in from trash, would be really solid. So, stuff like this is really what you want to take into account. The deck's just Jesmon a little bit better. You know, you're just going to do stuff. Yes, we lost Black Gato, but we have a different Black Gato that we can use. You know, security at the end of battle, play this without paying its cost. And then on play, by returning 1 Digimon card from your opponent's trash to the bottom of the deck, draw a card. Just to keeps your tempo going and keeps your speed up. All in all, the deck has a lot of potential, and your opponent's just got to deal with how Fenrir Luga plays. It's something you just got to adapt to. And then finally, we have Yellow Vaccine as the number 10 deck we're going to be talking about. But Yellow Vaccine, straightforward to the point. We use a lot of the vaccine stuff. Yes, you know, Hisoru can't be used, but if it's hidden security, it's not bad. Then we have like Centauramon. I know it's not a vaccine, which we can take that out. We might just go and look up more vaccines in this. Vaccine. Let's see. Let's check that out. I forgot it's restricted to vaccines, and it really wants vaccines. We could go Unimon here for that compensation. Looks like Gato is kind of the main game plan here. This promo Gato here, because it does have barrier, but, you know, at least has a decent inheritable. All your opponent's security Digimon get minus 2,000. So at least we have 8 targets now. Yeah, that was my bad. We should have just went with that in the beginning. I just did not want to just put this Gato in. But we also have Rise Greymon so that we can Digiburst out some pieces if we need to. Especially if Tokomon isn't under this Patamon right here. You know, this combo here, it doesn't do as much. So you can Digiburst almost anything else for Rise Grey to play a free Tamer, which can lead to more snowballing effects. So it's just worth to keep that in mind. And then you have like Magna, Angemon, Ace, just doing Magna, Angemon, Ace shenanigans. And then we do splashing Goldramon, similar to Setcon reasons, and then Seraphe, just because it's when Digivolving Recovery, and then when a card is added to your security stack, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 7,000 DP, and this Digimon gains security +1 for the turn. So extra damage, extra pushing. MSC Hope is just, you know, hitting potential, but better. You know, physical trainings and Holy Flares, just all in all a good deck in generalization. I think we have a lot of potential to work with the Ulti Cups, and I can't wait to see what guys are you thinking Spicively to come up with. But we had just 10 decks to talk about. So guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll catch you next one. Peace.